Malaysian 370, contact Ho Chi Minh 120.9. Good night.
Good night, Malaysian 370.
Breaking news tonight, a Malaysia Airlines flight with 239 people on board, including 4 Americans, has gone missing.
Scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds."
Welcome, everybody, to the live stream. Thank you very much for being here. I'm your host, Ashton Forbes, just as it says there, Ashton 4 Orbs, as my sign also says. Welcome to the Total Disclosure live stream. If you guys haven't been keeping up, it's been a wild couple weeks. Thank you all for being here right now as well with me. So, what's been going on? Everybody has a whistleblower except for me. Stephen Greer has a whistleblower. Jesse Michaels has a whistleblower. Ross Coutlhart has a whistleblower. They all got whistleblowers, apparently. Everybody's got a UFO whistleblower. And today, supposedly, sit down for this, NewsNation and Ross Coutlhart are going to have their whistleblower explain how they did some UFO crash retrievals. And supposedly they have a video of the crash retrieval. Wait, let me do the thing. They have a video of the crash retrieval. Now, yes, let's just cut to the brass tacks. If you saw me online over the last couple of days, I've been trolling them really, really hard. Do I think that they have a video? Or do I think we're going to see a video of a crashed UFO today? No. No, I don't think we're going to. I'm old enough and I'm wise enough now to know how sensationalism works. And usually they'll say stuff like that. And then when it comes out, it'll be like there's always some angle to it where it's like, oh, the video cut out right before the UFO. Or like, oh, it's like from really far away and it's like down there somewhere. You can't really make it out. That's probably how this is going to play out. And the reason why I bought into it was to show you guys like, hey, this is how they get you every time. This is how they get you. Now, if I'm wrong and it turns out there really is an alien egg-shaped UFO crash retrieval, and it's clear and obvious that it's alien technology, then yeah. Okay, joke's on us. Joke's on us. We were wrong, and Ross Coutlhart gets to be the face of UFO disclosure. And you know what? Bravo. If that's the case, bravo, I'm happy. What do I care? And why is this important? Because I don't care about being the face of disclosure. All I've ever cared about is solving the mystery of a plane where 239 people disappeared. If I have to solve UFO disclosure to make that happen, then I'll make that happen. Fine. Meanwhile, we've got people like Jeremy Corbell throwing middle schooler level fits because his name didn't get attached to the congressional record when he wasn't even a whistleblower anyway. He wasn't even testifying to Congress. I pointed out to show you guys the disparity. People that are truly for UFO disclosure, whether or not that be aliens or technology or whatever, they're not doing it to get the credit. If you're doing it to get the credit, you're never going to get disclosure and you're never going to get the credit. Pretty simple as that. So before we jump into this thing tonight, by the way, So yes, we're going to get rug pulled. Most likely we're about to get rug pulled in a major way, but I think it's important that we experience the rug pull together. So most likely for the rest of the stream until the rug pull happens, I'm going to pretend to be all in on it. So there you go. If you just joined after this, it's going to be kind of strange watching my responses. Okay. Now that I said that, I'm going to rug pull you guys. I actually don't have a way to watch this. I don't even have a way to watch this. So you guys might be going, hey, is Ashton rug pulling me? Well, here's the truth. My content is going to be better than whatever this trash is that you're about to watch. Instead, we're going to watch a little bit of science stuff to just warm up because I want you guys to like use your brain a little bit today as opposed to this garbage that we're about to watch with NewsNation. And then also what I assumed is that any of this stuff that's relevant from this thing is going to get clipped and shared by about 1 million different people simultaneously. So if somebody has a login that I can use or something like that that can access the NewsNation thing, send it to me in the Discord in a DM. In the meantime, we're just going to do some science stuff. Hopefully you guys don't mind. Because that's how we roll, by the way. We do science, we do memes, and then I forgot what the last thing is. Research. Okay, Matt Livelsberger died over knowing too much, but this guy can just say whatever on the news. I don't know. The Lake Show. Okay, this is another really good point. And this is something that I brought up earlier, is that if you look at my tweet, this was actually a very underrated tweet, where I point out if somebody has information that's massively revealing, reveal it publicly. Don't take it to the government and go through the DOPSR process and make sure that what you're revealing is allowed. No. You have plausible deniability unless you're the person who's leaking it. Just put it on the internet. This is what Sam Shoemate did with the email. Do you really think that email from Livelsberger, do you really think that email would have been made public if they hadn't made it public? No, almost no chance. Just put it on the internet. I also see, I'm starting to understand, I'm actually on AARO's side now, guys. I'm doing a complete villain-like flip on this. I think the AARO people are legit, especially after watching Jeremy Corbell's meltdown. I'm now thinking, like, God, can you imagine the AARO people dealing with this guy, having little fits about, like, who didn't get enough attention here and then and making up these fake stories in his head all the time? Like, the AARO people are like, yeah, dude, there's no aliens. We don't have any evidence of aliens. If we get some, I'll let you know. And he's like, making up fake stories about them. Like, it actually makes me realize, like, oh, no, those guys might just be legit guys. They don't have, like, yes, there is secret stuff out there. They just don't have access to it. It's a much simpler explanation to all this stuff. And so when they say stuff like, oh, we gave AARO these videos and then they deleted them, that's obviously a lie. It's obviously a lie. You're not giving AARO your only copy of anything. You're going to make a photocopy of it and you're going to send it to them, or you're going to make a digital copy and you're going to send it to them. So if you're like, oh, no, they deleted it. What are you talking about? The AARO guy asked me for the original copies, the highest quality versions of the MH370 videos just like 2 days ago. And I just sent them to him because I have infinite copies. So, and I explained these are the oldest ones. They come from Regicide and on, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, that just be careful because, like, they're spinning some pretty obvious lies. Like, really everybody is. The government, these UFO, alien head people are, the debunker people are, they all are. They're just all lying. So it makes it, like, impossible to get to the truth. Anyway, let's keep going here. CH, Pudoff just talked about Ken's shoulders on a live stream. So there are a lot of videos they can't show because of when and where they were filmed. Okay, someone find me a clip of that. Find me a clip of that. Because there's only, like, what was Ken's shoulders working on? He was working on ball lightning, cold, non-equilibrium plasma orbs. Guys, 100%. I'm not a guy to tell you, like, hey, I heard something. This isn't something I heard. This is something I've researched and you guys have researched with me. It's going to be about balls of plasma and not hot plasma like the sun, like cold plasma that can produce unlimited energy, unlimited, enough for a warp drive, enough for a wormhole, anything we could possibly need. That's what this whole UFO thing is going to be all about. And this right here is powerful evidence that supports it. Because, like, the Ken shoulders, we know part of the story between Ken shoulders and Hal Pudoff. Part of that story is in the late 80s, early 90s, they had developed, they called it condensed charge technology. And what it was they figured out that you can take a plasma, cold plasma, and you can jam a huge amount of electrical charge into it. So it's like a lightning bolt. And this was given high priority by the Pentagon, and then it just disappeared in the 90s. So what happened to that research? If there are videos tied to that research, I want them. I want to see them. We deserve to see them as the public. And that's the exact kind of evidence that we need to find so that the public can realize that this science has been suppressed. So, yeah, somebody in the Discord find this clip, please. It was some kind of live stream they did today. I don't know. Gabe. Thank you very much, Gabe. Odds are the retrieval video is poor quality. Yeah, it's going to be a rug pull of some sort. I can just feel it already. Has high bust potential. I don't know exactly what it's going to be, though. If it was really compelling, they wouldn't like hold it until 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock on a Saturday. They would have it out there immediately. That's the big thing as well. Is that, like, if this was huge, you wouldn't worry about trying to promote it and hype it up. You'd just be like, here it is. Guy brought the mothership video. We're going to make this like a breaking story. We're going live right now with it. That's how you would treat it. So probably going to be a rug pull. Mark Scott, brother, thank you for all your donations. Please don't go crazy with donations tonight, although I love you and I appreciate you. Let's warm up science, research, and Forbes. Okay. Yeah, you guys are going crazy with these donos. Mick, and the reason why I want to read them is because I recognize a lot of you guys. You've been here for a long time. Love your passion. Keep going. Thank you. And Katoshi Syndicate, thanks for teaching me physics, bro. Love you. No Diddy. I'm going to say no Diddy from now on instead of no homo. It's more politically correct, I feel like. Love you, bro. No Diddy. I think that'll work. That'll work. Okay, we're going to start right away with some Lex Friedman. Guys, oh, God, we're going to beef a little bit with Lex Friedman here. Oh, boy. Remember the old days? Chat, if you have not been here since the beginning, there was days where I would sit there and pretend to be looking at pictures of Lex Friedman because I wanted to interview with him so bad. And then I got woken up and realized, like, academia somehow hasn't figured out 0-point energy yet. Just hasn't figured it out, won't accept it. In some cases, like, rejects it. And so now when I listen to these astrophysicists talk to people like Lex Friedman and what have you, and they're like, basically just say idiotic things, and I'm just sitting there like wanting to like yell and correct them through the screen. I don't even care about going on Lex Friedman anymore. Now I'm like, I don't even want to go on Lex Friedman. It's not even entertaining. Like, I'd rather just do live streams and talk to you guys about the physics. I get more out of that than talking to like some of these astrophysicists that like, you know, think that space is empty. Like, this guy literally says space is empty in here. It's it's brutal, guys. Okay. Are the commercial ads? Yes, sorry, there are commercial ads. You got to deal with it. I don't get much out of this, but I get a little bit, and I get enough. And if for some reason this were to make it, like, I'm working, like, the other thing, guys, real quick, no Diddy. I've been working my ass off all week until like 8 o'clock at night. So that's why some of my streams have been late. And then I've been doing this as well. So this takes up a lot of my time. So does my normal job. This is basically all I do. So I'm not asking for much. I don't ask people to donate or anything like that, but my streams are monetized. So sorry about that, but you guys will endure. Buy the YouTube Premium if you don't like the commercials. It makes them all go away. Okay. Whew. Let me see what else we got in the chat here. Let's do this. So I like to start with the mainstream physicists. So who's this guy? Dennis White. Okay, astrophysicist from MIT. MIT nuclear physicist. Okay, guys? So this guy is from the actual, I'm going to actually do this one. This guy's from the university that actually helped to cover up cold fusion.
Pretty fundamental shift in our understanding of physics, like, as we know it now. And we know a heck of a lot about how nuclear reactions occur. But by the way, what's interesting is that they actually have a different name for it. They call it leaner, like low energy nuclear reactions. But we do have low energy nuclear reactions. We know these. It's because these come from particularly the weak interaction, the weak force, nuclear force. And so it's at this point, as a scientist, you always keep yourself open but you also demand proof, right? And that's the thing.
It almost requires a breakdown on the theoretical physics side. So something, some deeper understanding about quantum mechanics, something, so the quantum tunneling, some weird.
Yeah, and people have looked at that, but even like something like quantum tunneling has a limit as to what it can actually do. So there are people who are genuine, that really want to see it make it, but it sort of goes to the we know fusion happens at these high energies. Like we know this extremely accurately, and I can show you a plot that shows that as you go to lower and lower energy, it basically becomes immeasurable. So,
chat, I'm already so fucking triggered, and I've only been watching for 1 minute already. So right away they're like, what if there's some other kind of quantum thing that can like solve why we can't figure out fusion? And how maybe cold fusion can work with some quantum powers or something we don't understand. Yes. It's called 0-point energy. It's called space isn't really empty. And once you realize that this area that I'm holding in my hands has energy in it, then it's just a matter of manipulating a bubble in this region of space. I shouldn't be thinking about it, trying to contain it in a metal donut. Why am I trying to contain it in a metal donut? Just let space do its thing. Create magnetic fields in this region, and then just let the region of space just change itself. These people don't think of it that way because they think, well, gravity is going to make it fall to the ground. Because they don't realize when you do this, it's going to manipulate gravity, and your ball of plasma is just going to sit there. It's just going to sit there. We got Jeremy in the chat. I saw his live stream earlier as well today. I was just busy, but good job following that. Jeremy, if you can help or if somebody can help find a clip of Hal Puthoff earlier in that stream where he's talking about Ken's shoulders, I definitely want to see that. Okay, so anyway, and then he starts talking about hot fusion. And he's like, we know how it works. We know we have to heat it up. Okay, well then how come we can't make it work? Why can't we make it work then? Why is it 70 years later with no progress in hot fusion? This is what I hate. No offense to the academics out there. But when people are like, oh, we understand it all. And then it's like, well, we don't have fusion reactors, though. Even in your scenario where there is no free energy to be had, even in that scenario, fusion must work because we see it in stars. But you're telling me we know how it works, but we just can't figure it out.
If you're going down this other pathway, it means there's really a very different physical mechanism involved. All I would say is that I actually poke in my head once in a while to see what's going on in that area. And as scientists, we should always try to make ourselves open. But in this one, it's like, but show me something that I can measure and that is repeatable, and then it's going to take more extraordinary effort. And to date, this has not met that threshold, in my opinion. Yeah.
So I'm even more so than just mentioning, or in that question, thinking about people that are claiming to have achieved cold fusion. Yeah. I'm more thinking even about people who are studying black holes, and they're basically trying to understand the function of, theoretical physicists. Yeah. They're doing the long haul, trying to investigate like, okay, what is happening at the singularity? What is this kind of holographic projections on a plate, these weird freaking things that are out there in the universe, and like somehow accidentally they start to figure out something weird.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden
there's weirdness all over the place already. Yeah.
Somehow that weirdness will, I think on a time scale probably of 100 years or so, that weirdness will open. Yeah. So it just seems like nuclear fusion and black holes and all of this are they're next door neighbors a little bit too much for like, you'll find something interesting.
Well, let me tell you a story about this.
Yeah.
Yes. Black hole. Exactly. Like more and more you think about this, and especially when you think about these balls of plasma, is we're definitely looking at a little black hole. In that little ball of plasma you see on the right side of the screen over there, there's a little black hole in there, but somehow it's stabilized where it's not sucking everything in. Like it's pulling energy out and in at the exact same rate or something there, but there's a little basically equivalent of a black hole in there causing this to happen. That is the mechanism for cold fusion, because we're not just trying to heat it up. in cold fusion, instead, what we're doing is we're trying to create an artificial gravity well where now things are just coming together naturally. It's exactly what we're trying to do. We found fundamentally a different way to make fusion happen. And then here's the real controversial part about fusion is this. Here's the controversial part. Pay attention for this, guys. The controversial part about fusion is whether or not we can actually get excess energy out. As in just straight up more energy out than what we're putting in. That's over unity. That's free energy. Even the people that are like the hot fusion people sometimes get confused. And they're like, wait, are we getting more out? Or is it just chemistry and we're like just fusing these hydrogens together? It starts to get kind of blurred on both sides. Because you could argue, well, you're using hydrogen, but we're just using like air. And there's infinite air basically around us. So it could be free and that the supply could be free as well. Or it could be that 0 point energy is tapping, or the fusion process is tapping into the 0 point energy, basically like a free energy pump. If that's the case, then when we figured out fusion, it's Yahtzee. Yahtzee, free energy for everybody. So he says something here that really offends me soon, though.
Yes, okay. It's a real story. Okay. So there were really, really clever scientists in the end of the late 1800s in the world. You talk about like James Clerk Maxwell, and you talk about Lord Kelvin, and you talk about Lorentz, actually, who named after these other ones, and on and on and on, and like Faraday, and they discovered electromagnetism. Holy cow! And it's like they figure out all these things, and yet there were these weird things going on that you couldn't quite figure out. It's like, what the heck is going on with this, right? But we teach this all the time in physics classes, right? So what was going on? Well, there's just a few kind of things unchecked, but basically we're at the end of discovery because we figured out how everything works. Because we've got basically Newtonian mechanics and we've got Maxwell's equations, which describe basically how matter gets pushed around and how electromagnetism works. Holy cow, what a feat. But there were these few nagging things. Like, for instance, there's certain kinds of rocks that for some reason, like if you put a photographic plate around it, it like gets burned or it gets an image on it. Like, well, where's the electromagnetism in that? There's no electromagnetic properties of this rock. Oh yeah, and the other thing too is that if I take this wonderful classical derivation of how something that is hot, about how it releases radiation, everything looks fantastic, perfect match. Oh, until I get to high frequencies of the light, and then it basically just the whole thing falls apart. In fact, it gives a physical explanation which is total nonsense. It tells you that every object should basically be producing an infinite amount of heat. And by the way, here's the sun, and we can look at the sun and we can figure out it's made out of hydrogen. And Lord Kelvin actually made a very famous calculation.
So I want to point out two things. When you actually look at the math, it doesn't show what the mainstream academics kind of argue for. It often shows that they're wrong. Like he just said right there, when they look at the math, it shows things should be given to have infinite energy. You're like, wait, how can they have infinite energy when we do the math? Well, that's because there's an ether of energy all around us, the 0 point energy. That's what they're missing. And when he says like, oh, we've figured it all out. We basically figured it all out. Maxwell came in and he figured out electromagnetism, and Einstein basically figured out space-time, so we've got it all figured out. It's the most egotistical bullshit ever. Do you guys really feel like we've got it all figured out right now as humans? We've got all science figured out? I can't. This is the problem. The physicists think that like we've got it all figured out. Everything's been figured out right now, guys, and nothing more to figure out. We can't even explain dark matter, dark energy. We can't explain the origin of mass. We can't explain what gravity is, where it comes from. We can't explain why inertia exists. We can't even model our own solar system. Let me repeat that. Current cosmology models cannot even accurately model our own solar system. Since Jupiter is such a large planet, it's on the outside of us, it should have slowly pulled us away from the sun and flung us out of the solar system. Has it? And the reason why it hasn't is because there's something sticking everything together. So, no, we haven't figured everything out. Not by a wide margin. Now, he says some more stuff here. I can't remember when, but let's keep going.
Who was basically one of the founders of thermodynamics. So you look at the hydrogen. Hydrogen has a certain energy content. You know the latent heat, basically, of hydrogen. We know the mass of the sun because we knew the size of it. And he conclusively proved that basically the sun could only make net energy for about 2,000 or 3,000 years. So therefore, all this nonsense about like deep is like because clearly the sun can only last for 2,000 or 3,000 years.
Guys, don't listen to me. Listen to the mainstream scientists. The original people that did the math said that none of this makes any sense. They said that the sun should burn up in 2,000 or 3,000 years. They said just doing the math conventionally, the sun should only last for a few thousand years, and then it's gonna, become unstable and explode, basically. But it doesn't. It lasts for billions of years. Why is it so stable? If that's really a device up there burning, causing fusion nonstop, it's pretty impressive.
If you think about and this is basically the chemical energy content of hydrogen and what comes along in 1 decade, basically one guy sitting in a postal office, in Switzerland, figures out that all of these, Einstein, of course, which was figured out all of this, took these seemingly unconnected things, and it's like, boom, there it is. This is why it wasn't just him, but it was there's quantum physics. This explains this other disaster. And then this other guy, my hero, Ernest Rutherford, experimentalist, did the most extraordinary experiment, which was that, okay, they had these funny rocks. They emitted these particles. In fact, they called them alpha particles. Alpha, just A in the alphabet, right? Because it was the first thing that they discovered. And what were they doing? So they were taking these alpha particles, and by the way, I do this to all my students because it's a demonstration of what you should be as a good scientist. So he took these alpha things, and he was a classically trained physicist, knew everything about momentum scattering and so forth like that. And he took this, and these alpha, which clearly distribution doesn't matter because they didn't know where the hell is this stuff coming from. Even though they'd solved electromagnetism, they didn't know what made up charges. Okay, very interesting. Go through, they would deflect. How much they deflect tells you how strong an electric field they saw. Hours to get your eyes adjusted, and then they would start the experiment, and they would sit there and literally, they're going this way. They could tell they were going in one direction only. Basically.
Okay. Enough of that. People are getting excited. They want to see the egg-shaped UFO. So let me tell you guys what's good after I do a couple of these donations. Corbell's fit may regard traceability and or I think you mean discrediting someone later. Schellenberger should have corrected Mace when she admitted to the evidence. You guys want to do some drama now? Have we done enough science? Honestly, the science is the most boring part. So all you people who are here watching right now, you got hoodwinked. You got hoodwinked into watching some science. You came here for some drama, and you got science. So I will make it up to you, and we're going to do some drama. Now, keep in mind, there's no way they're playing the infamous clip or whatever at the beginning. No. They're going to hold that to the middle or to the end. So we've got another 30 minutes minimum. And to be perfectly honest with you, we're probably not going to see it live. Nobody in the Discord provided a link, I don't think. Yeah, but we'll see. Okay. And we're going to watch those clips in a second. I came away after the Candace interview. When I studied quantum physics, I thought that someone should have done something with this. Now they did. Thanks, bro. Yeah, people have done stuff with this. That's what's so crazy about this movement, if you want to call it, the 0-point energy disclosure movement, is that everybody looks at this is like, wait, why have people not been doing more with this? And then when you connect it to cold fusion, which everybody already connected to cold fusion before, you're like, oh, wait, oh, so we were discrediting it. So anyway, the cold fusion thing that we just watched there, basically the claims were that if you put certain metals like palladium in heavy water and put current through it, you would get fusion occurring. And it wouldn't be occurring at the temperatures of the sun. People were like, how is fusion happening in this scenario? And the water would start to boil. It would get really hot. And you can use that boiling water to spin a turbine. That's actually how nuclear power works. So people got excited because the problem was they were getting more energy out than what was being put in. They were getting over unity results. Now, keep in mind, that's just one aspect of cold fusion. It basically just shows there's another aspect of physics, 0-point energy, that we've been ignoring. The smarter way to do it's with plasma, exotic vacuum objects. You make plasma directly and you extract energy directly from that, and the plasma is interacting with the 0-point energy. That, to me, that's the smart way to do it. You go natural with it. Or maybe you try to do it hydroponic style, where you set it up and you have it just in the perfect conditions to be able to do whatever you're trying to do, extract energy from it or what have you. Okay. David R., thank you for that donation. Appreciate you, brother. I am total trash. Ashton, thank you for the donation. I have a theory. I'd like your opinion on. Gravity is not a force. It's a wave. Time-space is a dynamic medium. Dark matter is actually negative information stored in the quantum. Yeah, probably. That's basically what I think what everybody's been saying for the most part, is that dark energy is dark energy is negative energy, and it's all basically just the 0-point energies, which is a medium. And gravity is not gravity is a force because you can measure the force, but gravity is not a specific kind of particle or something like that. It's just an effect. It's an induced effect. So if I have more 0-point energy over here, less 0-point energy over here, the positive 0-point energy is going to flow over here. And if you were on that, you would feel it as a force, an acceleration force. So there you go. Lone Wolf, thank you very much for that super sticker. I appreciate you. It's awesome. Is it accurate to say that your primary goal right now is to gain the largest audience possible? Seems reasonable since you have all the research down. Yeah, that's reasonable to say, pretty much. Yeah, I think that at this point, my goal is, okay, I've got the research down. I've exposed MH370. We're pushing the ball forward on the science and the research and how these UFOs are operating. They exist out there, you guys. Like, just real quick, UFOs do exist. I'm not saying they're necessarily aliens, and you shouldn't just attribute UFO to alien. It can be government technology, defense contractor technology. And then when it comes to alien, it can be future humans. It can be something coming from the water. It can be a breakaway civilization of us. Then it could be extraterrestrial. There's like, I don't know, 50 different options. Could be anything. So it could be an AI that understands free energy is real, and it can just quantum print UFOs out of the vacuum. Could be that. Okay. But UFOs are real, and we can figure out how they fly. If they're floating out there like we always see, we can figure that out. However that works, if it's in our reality, we can understand it. And it turns out when you dig into it, you realize, oh, everybody's already figured this out. They figured this out decades ago. It's just like for some reason the public hasn't really picked up on it. So my goal then is to get the largest audience possible, not to preach this information, but to share the information because it's overwhelming. And it explains the experimental evidence that we have out there, like the Casimir effect, the Lamb shift, Aharonov-Bohm effect, all these other experiments. They can't explain any of those either. So, As Milk, $5 donation. Thank you. Thanks for doing this. I have no background in science. What would be the best material to read and view? Salvador Pais is 0-point energy. I like his high frequency gravitational wave paper. He has a scientific paper. It's not quite called that. It's called something else about like enabling high frequency gravitational waves. But a lot of his papers are readable in a way that a normal person can read them, even if you don't understand the math and the equations, which are mostly just, a lot of the equations are just taking Einstein's general relativity and like playing with the equations, engineering the metric, as Hal Puthoff would say probably. But the other best thing to do if you're not interested in reading all scientific papers would be to watch some of the videos on some of the Black Project engineers that I've been talking about. My favorites are Tom Bearden, Hal Puthoff, Paul Sizz, some of those guys. You can find a lot of clips of them. That'll help you to understand the concepts, and then you can take it from there. So thank you. Oh, yeah, and then I did want to mention the Chris Leto interview. So if you haven't seen that, check that out. If you haven't listened to the Stephen Diener interview, part 1 and part 2, check those out as well. We get a little bit spicy on the UFO community, but I think it's important. Like, we're making waves now. people are mad. We have a lot of hurt feelings in the UFO community, but at the end of the day, like what we're doing is pushing towards the science and the technology. And in the background right now, I've got the other video thing playing, and it's worse than I expected. Like, I don't know if they're even going to have a clip. So for just 1 second, I'll flip over to that so you can see. We're actually going to like double cheat here. So I'm probably getting copyright striked. But whatever, here we go. We'll try it out. Yep. That's so I'm going to remove that for a second. As you could see from that, they're basically just like listing off his credentials. So here's the thing about this, guys. If you're new to mainstream media, here's my first recommendation. Delete all mainstream media. Delete it. If you have like cable TV, get rid of that. Especially if you have one of those big plans where you get all the channels. If you're out there and you're watching like cable news or whatever, just delete that. Take that, cut that out of your life entirely. Shows like this are like an hour long, and they'll have like the first 15 or 20 minutes will just be like building up the credentials of the person they're interviewing. Oh, okay, he was a mechanic and he flew planes. Okay, and he once flew for the president. Okay, sweet, man. Like, let's just get to the claims, right? Like, show me the video of the alien UFO, right? If there's really an alien UFO in the end of this thing, just play that. That's all we need to see. And then we can start talking about what his credentials were. Like, at this point, everybody's already dug around and found his credentials and who this guy is. Like, he's not a mystery to us anymore. And then what they do is they'll play this sensationalist video like right near the end. And so that you don't really have time to like respond or process it. And then people are going to be angry because it's going to be a letdown. And then everybody's talking about it. And that just brings more attention to them. And that's generally the playbook. It's an old playbook, old style, but that's what they do. Okay, I'll play a little bit more of this while I'm looking through some donations here. It's honestly unwatchable for the most part. And this is why I haven't had cable TV in like 8 years, maybe longer. I honestly lost track. I don't. Okay. Okay, while that's waiting to come back. So basically,
is our own man-made advanced technology.
So you know what Louis Elizondo has described as the 5 observable.
Okay. So basically what I heard was that they he's been taking craft down that are classified. Now, if it was an alien craft, how could it be classified? You would just go pick it up. How is it classified? It was an alien craft from aliens. It's not like government controls an alien craft. You just go pick it up. So it sounds to me like if this guy is actually true, being honest, then he's at least picking up some craft that are like experimental U.S. technology, be that defense contractor or human craft technology. He's picking up some stuff that's whatever, normal human stuff. So I don't know where this is the part where like I feel like people pull the alien aspect in when they don't need to. It looks like we might be on commercial. Yeah, they're on commercial. Okay. And this isn't to say that there isn't aliens, but for some reason, humans have this tendency to say, like, if they don't understand something, oh, it must be aliens. But we have like no videos of aliens, like none at all, practically. There should be way more videos of aliens if aliens were just walking around all over the place, even if they were spirits. There should be more videos of ghosts if ghosts were aliens as well. There's like none, especially in today's day and age. If you're up close next to an alien, we should be getting 4K video of that alien. And if any of you guys see any aliens, I expect you to whip your phone out and film the shadow monster or gray alien or manted person or whatever it is. Since everybody always asks me my opinion, even though I don't care about aliens. Aliens can be real. That's fine. I don't care. It actually, I think it upsets people that my opinion is that I don't care about aliens, which is hilarious. I want the alien to knock on my door right now, and I want him to give me my $10 million that I asked the government to give me to not expose the technology in the MH370 videos. I asked politely. They didn't give it to me, or my ScarJo clone. If the alien comes down and he gives me the ScarJo clone and the money, I will be happy. But he's not going to, because aliens don't impact our lives. And sorry, it's going to hurt your feelings right now. Alien heads out there, plug your ears. It's going to hurt your feelings. Aliens being real isn't going to even be a blip on the radar. For most people, it's not going to like break their minds or anything like that. They're just going to be like, oh, okay, cool. You'd be like, oh, it's going to destroy world religions. World religions are going to be destroyed because aliens exist. No, not even a little bit. The Catholic Pope has already said aliens are real. He's already said that. So the very first thing they're going to do is this. They're going to go, oh, God created aliens. Problem solved. That's the very first thing that's going to happen. Do you guys realize that? Like, and you know how I know this? Like 100% know this beyond any reasonable doubt is because the vast majority of the podcasts that I've gone on in the last year and a half have been right-wing podcasts. I've even done Bible ones with pastors. And none of them have any problem with any of this. They don't even have a problem with it being aliens. It actually surprised me because when I started doing this, I didn't know which kind of podcasters would want to talk to me. Turned out it was mostly right-wing ones. People that are religious. They're not going to be the ones that are going to have a meltdown. The people that are going to have the meltdown are going to be the left-wing, blue-pilled type people, the ones that like laugh at you and say like, you're a conspiracy theorist. Those people are going to have a psychological break because they're going to realize their whole world was just an elaborate fiction, that like their whole lives were just basically meaningless to serve some higher power or that we were in some kind of simulation. The people that appreciate the smaller things in life, that just realize life is just worth living and that's all there is, those people are going to have no problem with whatever the truth is about our reality. Doesn't matter what it is. The people that think that their lives are so important and what they're doing and what have you, and that they know everything and everybody else is a dum-dum, those people are going to have a complete break when they realize that our government's evil, that academia is complete like nonsense, and that they're not really on the cutting edge. Okay, let's go back to this. Let's see where we're at with this thing. Okay, chat. Now is the time. Disclosure time. You heard him just say it. He got within 100 feet of it. If you are here watching the stream, most likely the reason is because of this right here. We're waiting for it to buffer right now, but he just said he got within 100 feet of it. If that, I swear to God, though, chat, if that FLIR video we just saw was the video of the egg and it's one of those little dots on the ground is supposed to be the egg, I'm done. We're shutting the stream down. We're shutting down the studio. You know, I need Cambodian milk from somebody on the street. No diddy, guys. But yes, that would be what I would be expecting as well. That FLIR video. That's what I would be expecting with respect to like basically the rug pull. That would be what I would be expecting with the rug pull. We're like, here's the video, and then it's just like some dots that are like bushes or something like that. You're like, where's the UFO? They're like, oh no, it's from one of the missions. It's like, oh, you thought it was going to be a video of a UFO? Oh no, it's just a video from one of the missions. I can already tell the way that they're trying to build this guy up and build up his credibility tells me that the hard evidence is very weak. Tells me it's very weak. You guys are going to find out. I'm going to wait and have that come back. If you have a situation, yes, thank you, Liz. I appreciate you. If you have a situation where you have hard evidence that's like undeniable, you don't do a lot of like build up for it. They had Jesse Michaels out there going like, this is going to be one of the most revolutionary witnesses since the Navy DOD videos, the gimbal and the go fast. Like, come on, bro. Really? I got to be honest, guys. Since we have an intermission here while they're trying to figure this technology out here called streaming, let me look at my list here. These whistleblowers that have been coming out, basically it's been disaster after disaster. We had, let me run through them for you if you're unfamiliar. First of all, Stephen Greer promised whistleblowers. As far as I know, they still haven't come out. And he's like kind of weirdly trying to take credit for some of these other guys. I got to be honest, Greer is sketching me out pretty heavily right now. And this is why I didn't connect myself to Greer and be like, I'm just like Greer, everybody. He can be right about the technology, but the way that some of these guys are acting is really bizarre. If I'm missing the egg, don't worry about it. There'll be clips of it, but I'm like basically cheating here while we're doing this. Okay. So Greer whistleblowers, I don't know. I don't have a lot of hope for it. I'm going to give Greer like 3 more days. And if there's no whistleblowers, I'm calling bullshit on Stephen Greer. I hope he pulls through. I really hope he pulls through, but I'm sketched out. Jesse Michaels had a whistleblower and he played his thing up as well. And Jesse Michaels has been crying wolf a lot recently. This is one of the things you cannot do in this field, guys. You can't go out there and cry wolf every time and say, this is the most mind-blowing episode ever. You have to watch this, blah, blah, blah. Like, you start to do that too much, and next thing you know, people are like, why are you, it wasn't that big a deal. Like, one of his things was the nukes, like the UFOs shutting down the nukes. That was an old story. It's an old story that he repackaged and pretended like it was new. It's sus, guys. And his whistleblower claimed to have seen an orb that was levitating. That was basically it. And he attributed it to alien technology. So great. And at the end of the day, you know what? That's fine. But we're past the part where stories are not going to make any difference anymore. They aren't. And the reason why they're not going to make any difference is we know they've got videos. We know they've got videos. We're looking at videos now. Like, they can't lie to us anymore and pretend like they don't have videos. Why? Because they've got this. They've got this. If they've got this, they've got tons of UFO videos. If there's anything flying around that's anti-gravity, they're seeing it if they've got this. Okay? So we know they've got a bunch of stuff. So just coming to me and saying, hey, I saw some magical infinity stones or some shit like that, the Thanos glove, that's not good enough anymore. You need to come out. Thank you, Amanda. You need to come out and break out real hard evidence for us. Somebody come out with one of these videos like this of a real event and break it out for us. That's why the MH370 case is so huge, guys. Like, why is this case so huge? Because this is a real airplane we're seeing that's still missing, that nobody really connected to these videos until last year. It's a real plane that's missing. That's the golden ticket. Everybody's been saying, hey, why are we not getting good footage? Why are we not getting multiple angles? Why are we not getting a real life scenario that we can connect some of these UFO videos to? Well, there you go. So Jeremy Corbell, Jesus, this guy, man. This guy, like, man, I think I saw Jeremy Reese in the chat. This dude must just be loving, Jeremy Reese must be loving his life right now. Because this Jeremy Corbell thing, guys, this is the most cringe thing I've ever seen in my life. So I dug through to figure out what the real story was of this before I play this clip here. And the story is that he... Oops. Okay.
Without consequence. I'm
just gonna play it over and over because it's hilarious.
Surprised that they thought they could lie without consequence. I was surprised that they thought they could lie without consequence. I was surprised that they thought they could lie without consequence. I was surprised that they thought they could lie without consequence.
So I would be mad if somebody made a video like this about me. I would be mad. But for some reason, Jeremy Corbell has like no shame or something. He's just like one of the theater kids from like high school. He's just like a theater kid. He doesn't really have like any understanding of like what people like or what have you. Like it's just sensationalism to him. But I think he's actually upset about this. So what happened was there was a 13-page letter. In the 13-page letter was basically nothing. There was like one paragraph that says that the U.S. government has footage of UFOs and satellite video of UFOs, which was, okay, great. That's a great claim. You're making a claim that nobody's having. And Jeremy Corbell had a cover letter on this that basically was him jerking off on top of the letter about how great he was. And Nancy Mace removed it because it probably had nothing on there. It was just him jerking off all over it. You guys know those types of letters where it's just someone jerking off about themselves in the letter. And so Nancy Mace removed it and submitted it to Congress without his jerk-off letter on the top of it. And so because of that, Jeremy Corbell got very upset. And here's the rub. Even if he wrote the 12-page letter, there was just one claim, and it's not even a claim he's making. It's just a secondhand claim on behalf of the whistleblower. The whistleblower, still nobody knows who the whistleblower is. The whistleblower is the one who's saying that we've got all this footage on this immaculate constellation, hundreds of thousands of UFO videos, and that we've got satellite video, which now we understand whammy footage. So now we know we probably do have satellite video. I mean, we know we have satellite video of UFOs. So basically, all of this boils down to being butthurt about not getting credit for some random letter. Here's the most wild part. It gets wilder. There was actually a huge document that also got uploaded that we don't really know where it came from. In that document, it's like a historical timeline from the 40s to now. And it's not just like UFO things. It's also like when certain engineers figured stuff out. It was really interesting. Hal Puthoff is mentioned 93 times. 93 times. That document actually was impressive. But Jeremy Corbell did not make that document. So the funniest part about this is that he's trying to get credit for the thing that doesn't even matter, when there was this document that was actually submitted, that somebody submitted, that was huge. There was like a huge timeline of all the UFO stuff and all the technology. That was amazing. If I was Jeremy Corbell, the smart move here, if you're going to be like a little scummy, ratty, weaselly douchebag like he's doing right here, the best way to be a little rat douchebag is to take credit for that other thing. I would have taken credit for the document of all the historical stuff. Don't be butthurt about this. Like the 5D chess players go, oh, I'm the one that submitted the 90-page document that has Hal Puthoff like in it 90 times. That was the impressive document. Just some letter jerking off on the page, like that's, nobody cares about that. So let's play it again. Now that you understand the context, it's even more ridiculous.
I was surprised that they thought they could lie without consequence. I was surprised that they thought they could lie without consequence. I was surprised that they thought they could lie without consequence.
Okay, chat. Wow. Okay, is it back on? Yeah, we're back. Here we go. Let's get back to the NewsNation. Guys, alien hunter. Hold on, let me get you ready. Alien hunters, here we go. We got orbs coming. We got alien eggs. We got everything that you want today on a Saturday night. Prepare, get disclosure. Dun, dun, dun. NewsNation. Don't copyright strike me, NewsNation. Real quick talk. Like I can just mute. I I don't
Write
even
down
mute
on the
this. Hold on.
job.
Into me.
I can just mute this and like we can just go away for like 10 minutes and come back and we like haven't missed anything. That's the other thing you'll notice about these like overproduced piles of trash that you watch on mainstream media is that like you get more content in a YouTube video than you get in this, where it's like, why was this 1 hour long? This could have, we've basically been listening to like 10% of it and we already have 100% of the information on what's happened.
By the most
Oh God, here we go.
beautiful spirit I'd ever been
Oh God,
possessed
the
by.
rug pull.
And,
Here it is.
Was it loving?
It was
Here it
loving,
is. Holy shit, chat. This is
but
it.
there was a sense of sadness at the
This
same
is
time.
the rug pull.
And
Oh my God.
My mental health was
chat.
but
No,
started disrupting.
Not like this, chat. Oh boy. We knew the rug pull was coming. We knew the rug pull was coming. Okay, if you don't understand, like the people are laughing because they understand the jokes and what have you, but okay, if for some reason some of you probably are confused, probably wondering why we're laughing and what have you, because that just destroys his credibility. Like it just shatters his credibility. Like now it doesn't even really matter what the video is, because he went full on like the psychic egg. The egg was actually a psychic orb, and it was like in my mind, possessing me, telling me what to think. Like, especially when you've got the sanpaku. I'm gonna get this fucking. I don't know how I didn't get canceled before. The Saku Eyes. When you got the Saku Eyes, chat, and you're talking about. And you just go full psychic powers, you're done. You're done. It was over at that moment. And people might think I'm being dramatic, but we're not. We're not being dramatic. Like that was the moment that the whole interview got discredited. Like you can tell the droopy eyes, like the weird eyes like this. You know what I'm saying? The Sanpaku eyes. Yeah, okay, here we go. It's the Sanpaku eyes. There you go. He's got the Sanpaku eyes where you can see like the whites like that, you know? Yeah. It's not a good sign because people were already trying to say he might be a little crazy. And like, here's the big rub, guys. Because a lot of people are probably upset thinking, Ashton, why don't you believe in psychic powers or whatever? You know, why don't you believe in the psychic powers? It's not that I don't. It's that it was completely unnecessary. Why is psychic powers being entered into this thing? This whole thing was about you are doing UFO crash retrievals and you found what you are now 100% sure is alien technology. That should have been what this whole thing was about. But somehow now we're like halfway through. We're not even halfway through. And my bro immediately went full on like, nope, the alien egg was sending me psychic signals. Like, dude, come on, man. It's like they're literally trying to make a mockery of this. It's like they're trying to make a mockery of it. Because realize, like, look at it from this perspective. If you're somebody that believes in remote viewing and astral projection, great. You're you know, getting super excited over all this. Great. Well, this is porn for you, okay? For everybody else who's just trying to get to the truth of, like, where's this technology coming from? And who has it on this planet? This is a joke. This is a laughing stock. Because now people look at this and just think that everybody who's connected to it is a crazy ass MFer. When people are out there and they're trying to understand how gravity works and how we can get free energy for the world. But instead we got people going all in on alien orbs or sending me psychic signals. Even if it is, do a different show about that later on after we've already established that there even was an egg. Like at this point now, was there even a psychic egg to begin with? Or was this just all in his head the whole time? You get what I'm talking about? This is the problem. The moment you go full on, I'm hearing psychic messages, then people just begin to wonder, oh, so was this whole story about this alien technology also just some made up shit in your head? This is where it's like you got to keep it grounded, people. So anybody else out there, any whistleblowers or whatever else, because honestly, we've just like destroyed the credibility of like 3 whistleblowers in a week. So let me help you out. Anybody else that's out there that you're a whistleblower, you want to disclose some crazy shit, keep yourself grounded. Don't start talking about the Illuminati and the human mantis or human, chimera hybrids. Don't start talking about that. Don't start talking about how the reptilians are controlling the government. Don't start talking about how the little evil grays are the scariest of all the 50 different alien species. And don't start talking about how you've got magic psychic abilities that only you have that nobody else has. Like, don't bring any of that kind of stuff up. Just show us whatever videos you've pulled out of the secret archives or that you recorded on your phone, and just show us the information. Just tell us the stuff about whatever you leaked. That's it. Right? Like, that's what we need. That's what this community needs. And we're in dire straits right now. Okay, it looks like it's back. I'm honestly afraid to go back to it. I'm afraid to go back. I just got to collect myself for a second. I also want to point out that we're over halfway into this. Still no video produced, right? Still no video. So this is going to be a very valuable lesson, this stream. It looks like right now. Unless Ross Coutlhart's got a 80-yard bomb Hail Mary at the last second for us. It looks like this is a good stream on understanding sensationalism. And NewsNation is basically a mainstream media. NewsNation is basically mainstream media. So understand how they have like just made a joke out of this topic. And this is where people come at me and say like, oh, Ashton, you're hurting UFOlogy. Jesus, man. If you're coming at me talking about me hurting UFOlogy, look at the crap that's being put out there. You're not pulling any normal people to your side with stuff like this. Like, we just want to see, show me the videos. Like, that's why, even though I'm just like a dude and not like a hot chick or any of that other stuff, that's probably why I've had such a huge growth. Because when I review stuff like this, I'm just like, hey, here's the evidence for why this is real. You watch it yourself. Watch the plane disappear out of space-time in this cold zap. And this is just a few seconds of one of the 2 videos. I'm like, watch this for yourself. Here's the evidence. You come to your own conclusion. I'm not coming to you with some story about being mind raped by the blue or green aliens, whichever color you like the most. I'm just coming to you with videos going, hey, here you go, guys. I don't have much for you. I've just got craziest videos ever. They're publicly available. There's no secret sauce related to them. Just see it for yourself. There it is. Plane's gone. Vanished out of the sky. Oh, by the way, that was a real plane. Still missing to this day, 10 years later. I don't know. Maybe are my expectations too high? I'm going to do some super chats. They went back to another commercial. I'm going to do some super chats. I want to know, are my expectations too high that I just expect, like, give me a military video of a UFO? Like, why all the bullshit? Thank you. Thank you, Jack Trading. Yeah. Oh, and Corbell the other day pretended like he had some new video that was sent to him. It's been online for multiple years at a minimum. Like, okay. So I'm going to do some super chats here. Okay. Thank you, W Killa, for the Chris mention here. Could you create these experiments yourself from Brody? Yes, you can, but the problem is you're not going to create them at a level in which you're going to be compelling. The big thing is you want a floating orb. And if I had a floating orb next to me, no one would question it. Everyone would go, why does Ashton get a floating plasma Jarvis orb? Right? That's how people would respond. But the best we can do is like make something like go up in the air a little bit. And people go, oh, well, that's just the ionic wind or whatever. Heck, I mean, Jeremy and Mark Sokol and Falcon Space Labs They already reproduced the Thomas Townsend Brown effect in a vacuum chamber. And people were just like, oh, it's whatever. Just ignored it. So the problem is that you can do it, but you can't do it at a level that convinces anybody. Lil Lund, thank you very much for that big donation. Thank you. Also, thank you, Donnell. Thank you, Donnell. Appreciate you. That huge $50 donation in the chat app. Appreciate it. Pretty awesome. Also, quick announcement. I'm going to concert, or what is it? Contact in the Desert. I'm going to some UFO conference. Why? I don't know. Decided to go to the West Coast. So whenever that's happening, I'll probably be there. RS, thank you very much for that donation. Since you just that your primary goal is to gain the largest audience possible, it would follow that you would want to interview Burning Bright. Who's Burning Bright? Is that what's his face? Jimmy? I don't know who Burning Bright is. But thank you very much. Yeah, no, I'll get around to basically everyone. When you're doing podcasts, the issue isn't having too many people to talk to usually. Skinny Bob alien video. Yeah, that one's decent. It's okay. It's not compelling enough for me, but it's okay. You don't think Nordics and extraterrestrials have been influencing human civilization for thousands of years behind the scenes? Maybe. I mean, how would we know, man? How would we know? I think there's some dark answer, and I think somebody knows and somebody has evidence for the truth. But people just saying stories about what it is, that's, to me, like religion. You're like, what is your origin story belief, right? Mark, thank you very much again. Come on, Ash, use your imagination. If it's out of focus and fuzzy, it has to be real. Yeah, people love the out of focus and fuzzy stuff because it could be anything. They don't like when it's like thermal, infrared, multiple angles, high quality. Then it's CGI. Peter Benton, hi Ashton. Are you gonna ever do a stream with Greer? Yeah, probably. I want to interview Greer on my podcast actually, and I kind of want to not rake him over the coals, but I want to like really dig into, is my impression of him correct? Yeah, JC Drama Queen, 100%. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate you. We're going to flip back over to this other thing in a second, too. Dude, your commentary is worth all the money people donate to you. But I do appreciate your research as well. Thank you. Yeah, and when we have bigger streams like this, there's so many donations. It's harder to do some of the research. I had a lot more stuff lined up, but that's fine. Okay, let's go. Let's watch a little bit of this and we'll come back. Oops. Okay, so this is just a complete joke. This is a complete joke, guys. This is like you're LARPing and you're like, okay, I'm going to pick every single thing that could happen to somebody who's UFO related. I've got Havana syndrome because I was too close to the UFOs. I mean, where's the UFO video, man? We're now pushing 7:45, 8:45 on the East Coast, and we're 15 minutes left. And what did I tell you guys? Guys, did they post it? Like, if I go to X right now, am I going to find like hundreds of people posting the video of the alien UFO, or are they still they're still waiting on that, right? If so, I was right. You know, I told you, I was telling you it was going to take 45 minutes minimum before they even show this thing. And now we've already got the guy saying that he's getting psychic messages from the egg. And now we've got Gary Nolan saying that the guy might have mental problems due to his medical history. And again, like, I have no problem with, oh, they already showed it and it was nothing. I already missed it. Oh, man. It's exactly what I think. Oh, man. It's posted. Okay, let's go watch it. Okay, I'm going to stop watching this then. I'm going to close out of this. Oh, boy. Guys, I don't even know if I want to find it now. Who posted it? Did Red Panda or somebody post it? Oh, here it is. Oh, my God. Oh, my. It was exactly what we thought. Are you fucking kidding me? Chat, I'm going to make a drink. We're just going to drink. We're going to drink. Even though people are calling me drunk for drinking on stream, but like... Oh. Well, I'm sold, chat. Obviously, aliens are real. What? I mean, how can you argue with such irrefutable proof? How can you argue with irrefutable proof like that, chat? Obviously, aliens are real. Thank you for that obvious alien egg UFO. Clearly, Ross, that couldn't be anything else other than an alien egg UFO. Ross Coutlhart, guys, for Pulitzer Prize. Pulitzer Prize for Ross Coutlhart, guys. Amazing job. Amazing journalism. Managed to tie every UFO topic to one guy, including the psychic egg messages. He also apparently has Havana syndrome. You managed to pull in your favorite grifter, Gary Nolan, into the mix too somehow. When I saw Gary Nolan show up, that's when I knew we were cooked, chat. I hadn't even seen the fake video yet. I'm calling it a fake video because it's really not compelling at all. Obviously, it's not compelling. It's about 5 seconds of them carrying something underneath a helicopter. Carrying something slightly egg-shaped underneath a helicopter. You got to show me something flying in the sky. Something at least floating above the ground, man. If I'm just looking at a random egg, of course, that's not compelling. You know what? You know what, chat? I'm kind of angry. I'm going to make another drink real quick. Actually, let me finish this. I'm going to put some video on for like a minute or two. I'm going to come back with another drink. And then I'm just going to unleash on that video. Because disclosure has been ruined. Disclosure has been ruined. I got all hyped up. People told me this was going to be the greatest thing ever. This dude's going to get discredited in like 5 seconds. He's already been discredited. I'm sure there's already posts all on Twitter about this guy getting the psychic egg powers talk to him. Yep, Dark Ashton is coming out as well. It's a Saturday night. I moved my live stream because everybody was so excited about this alien egg footage or whatever that was going to prove it all. It was going to prove all disclosure. They spent a fucking hour. You know what, chat? I'm getting angry right now. They made me sit there for 45 minutes of nothing for 5 seconds of footage of something being carried by a helicopter. I told you guys it was going to be some bullshit rug pull. I fucking told you guys. They did it. And these are the same people that won't even touch the MH370 videos. Imagine doing that garbage that NewsNation did. Imagine, like, this is just unbelievable. The garbage that NewsNation did, but you won't touch these videos. I'm just going to play this on a loop somehow for like 2 minutes while I make another drink. They won't touch these videos, but they'll talk to some guy who's clearly disturbed mentally, who will be easy to discredit, who has no physical proof whatsoever of his claims, that admitted that he's taken classified technology and picked it up, meaning it can easily be human technology. And they misrepresented it, deliberate misrepresentation, and claimed, oh, this is alien technology. This is proof of alien technology and crash retrievals. That is not proof of crash retrievals. I can make that same video in 10 seconds of anything on the ground, and I could just say that that's a crash retrieval of a UFO. Anybody could do that. Okay, I'm getting mad. Let me do a few donations because you guys were popping off. Oh my God, there's so many. I'll do a few donations and then we'll come back to this, and then we're gonna rage out. We're gonna let our emotions out a little bit here because we got hoodwinked once again by Ross Coutlhart. Ross Coutlhart hoodwinked us again. NewsNation hoodwinked us again. Every time I get excited again for disclosure, I get told I'm going to get disclosure, and then it's some sensationalist bullshit every single time. Okay. This is how they cover up the truth. Yes, that's true. And yes, a lot of people are grifters in this community. IF, thank you. Do you have a site or location on that where you can share your research? I am going to be working on that. I'm in touch with a production company where we're going to start trying to put the stuff out on more places. And that would include a website. So, yeah. Thank you. Lightbulb Truth, thank you very much for that donation. Twigand, appreciate you. Chris Mellon is a knob. We've got novelty accounts. The egg UFO ended up being a yolk. Yep. Hannah D, thank you. Chris Mellon's a knob. Yolk disclosure. Rebecca, hey, Ashton, have you seen Hal Puthoff on this podcast, AMA? Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. I'm going to see if I can get some of that clips for the next live stream on like Monday. Ross went full regard, guys. DVOS, thank you very much for that $20 donation. Following you is like wearing the glasses on They Live. I was just thinking about that, which is why I've got to switch the glasses up too. It is like you put the glasses on and like all of a sudden you can only see the lies and you can't see, like, you just see the bullshit. And once you see the bullshit, you can't see the lies like as for anything else other than just nonsense. Yeah, Ashton's just jealous that the egg didn't possess him. Yeah. It's like breaking out Elf on the Shelf to reinforce the idea of the Santa Claus. Yeah, that's true. Mark Scott, thank you, brother. I knew you were gonna deny. Thanks. Appreciate you, Mark. You're the boss. DC on X. Biden is destroying the country with his rhetoric. Maybe they're including their narrative on UFOs. Yeah, there is weirdly this connection with people that like voted for Joe Biden and this alien disclosure team. Don't tell me to explain how and why, but there is. Gen X, wow, thank you very much for, let's call it Australian dollars. Apologies and donations from my fellow Aussies reporting this. Okay, it definitely is. Thank you very much. Yeah, man. Boy, you know what? What a disaster. Okay, let's play. I'm going to play it one more time while I make another drink. Oh, Jesus. How dare you, NewsNation? How dare you? Guys, actually, before I do that, I already posted this in my losers channel because I was ready to go. I already knew, just in case people wonder, like, was Ashton really all on board with this, or was he LARPing or whatever? Like, no, I knew this was going to be a disaster. I knew this was going to be a disaster, and I went in my losers channel and I screenshotted this post because I wanted to have it out there for when this thing blows up. This was them 2 days ago, 3 days ago, January 15th. He says they have a video. And then this guy replies, wait, so they're actually going to show a video of the retrieval footage? And then Ross Coutlhart jumps in and says, yes, they are. Yes, they are, right there. Right there. That garbage is what you call a UFO crash retrieval video? How dare you, Ross Coutlhart? We have the receipts. Guys, I'm going to have so much, like, just like stuff on all of these guys. Like I've got dirt on like every single person in the UFO community. Like Ross Coutlhart with stuff like this. Jeremy Corbell with his full-on meltdown. Lou Elizondo constantly saying that he's protecting national security. Like the amount of stuff that I've collected in just 1 year is incredible. People are trying to bring me down. I live stream 3 times a week. They can't do anything. These guys can't step anywhere without falling on their own face. It's ridiculous. It's no wonder like this whole UFO stuff, like people get mad because I say UFO community hasn't accomplished anything. Well, they haven't. And this is why, because they're just getting hoodwinked nonstop by charlatans and frankly, just morons. A lot of these people are just idiots. Yes, Lauren White, I see you as well. Thank you. There's something cute about the way that you like freak out in the chat, but I see you. I see you. Calm down. Okay, I'm going to play this again. I'm ready to make another drink, and then let's just pop off on these people. Bro, what are you talking about, bro? Like, no visible means of propulsion? You're picking it up. It's suspended inside of a basket. What do you mean no visible means of propulsion? You haven't even proven the thing was even in the sky. You haven't even proven the thing was ever in the sky. Dude. I knew it was going to be a rug pull, but I didn't think they would be so audacious. I didn't think they would be so audacious in this whole thing. Someone risked their life to leak this. This is the craziest shit. This is like these people too, like, and I don't, you're probably being sarcastic, but these people really do think that they're risking their lives leaking these like completely and not like just normal videos. Like, you think you're risking your life leaking that? How about this? How about leaking this video? Let's go full screen. I'll just talk over it. How about leaking this video? You think you're risking your life leaking some random video of a helicopter picking up some random object in a basket? Imagine then what you're risking leaking this. 2 videos. And these aren't videos on a cell phone. These are videos from like military apparatus. Like someone, you're going to prison for leaking this. This isn't that you just broke protocol. This is like you logged in the system and took the videos and sent them to somebody else. It's pretty wild, man. The propulsion, no visible propulsion. There's visible propulsion in these videos, and it's endothermic propulsion. It's not like anything anybody else has ever seen before. Okay, so should we play around on social media and see what else we can find, chat? Okay. Also, quick shout out, since we've got so many people in the chat. Thank you, first of all, for being in the chat. Second, John D'Souza interview, FBI agent, the Mulder, Fox Mulder of the FBI, the real life one. Interview with him dropping tomorrow. Also, I'm talking to Avi Loeb, and that interview will drop probably next week. So be on the lookout for both of those. It's going to be awesome. You know what? I just remembered we have something we have to play right now. Oh, boy. I can't believe I almost forgot to play this. Here you go. It's time to talk some smack. Oh, yes, there it is. Oh, Tupa made a video for me. Okay, we're gonna watch the Tupa video about me after. It's funny because I was gonna shout him out. Yeah, here it is. Tupa's video is actually better than the NewsNation video, guys. Here you go. This video is just true, chat.
What the fuck is that UFO Barry? Ross. What the fuck are you talking about? Ross. Are you deep state Ross? It's NewsNation, a psyop Ross. Egg-shaped UFO, now you're talking. Told her I didn't do blow, now she walking. Ross. What the fuck is that UFO Barry? Ross. What the fuck are you talking about? Ross. Are you deep state Ross? It's NewsNation, a psyop Ross. Egg-shaped UFO, now you're talking. Told her I didn't do blow, now she walking. Ross. What the fuck is that UFO Barry? Ross. What the fuck are you talking about? Ross. Are you deep state Ross? It's NewsNation, a psyop Ross.
Honestly, that's just incredible. That's just amazing. I'm downloading that. We're playing that a lot. It's got Tupa's name on it, so I don't have to worry about shouting him out too much. That's Chupacabra, one of my favorite UFO people. Doesn't get as much credit as he deserves. That's how I know he's good. And also, he just made a video about me. So here we go. Oh, boy. This is going to be... Oh, boy. I haven't listened to this one yet. Brand new video, guys. Brand new drop, chat. Hold on. Brand new drop by Chupacabra titled Ashton. Just Ashton. It's just titled Ashton. Here we go. Brand new. World premiere of the music video, Ashton Four Orbs. I already love it. I already love it. Here we go.
High tech, we know you're down. High stress, tell me how to solve it. How you go put dirt on my name on the same page, but we know the same thing. That brain is still missing. You can't produce a thing because you're too busy tripping. Yeah, still fading off from last night, so headed to the party. She talking 0 point energy, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Yeah, yeah. It shows 3 spheres circling the plane. God damn it. Then it opened up a wormhole into space. God damn it. Where'd it go? I bet I know who could tell you all about it. Well, shows 3 spheres circling the plane. God damn it. Then it opened up a wormhole into space. God damn it. Where'd it go? I bet I know who could tell you all about it. All about it.
Wow. Well, that was a banger, chat. That was a banger. And the part where I have the candle and there's Albert Einstein. There's Albert Einstein and I got the candle and it's lighting up Albert Einstein's face. That is chef's kiss. Chef's kiss to Chupacabra. Let me pull his thing up here because, wow. Incredible. Incredible chat. Wow. Here he is. Chupacabra at Chupacabra. Yeah, we retweeted that. Honestly, just S tier work, guys. That's just S tier work. I gotta listen to the Ross one again, to be honest with you. I gotta listen to it again. This is good. This needs to be like Tupa needs to do a remix of this one where it's like 2 to 3 times as long. It needs to be like 2 to 3 minutes long. That's the only downside is it's only 1 minute long. This is such a banger that this like legitimately needs to be like longer.
Ross. What the fuck is that UFO buried? Ross. What the fuck are you talking about?
Ross, there he is. Where the fuck's that UFO buried, Ross? Ross Coutlhart said there's a buried UFO. Where's it at, Ross? Are you deep state, Ross?
Are you deep state, Ross? It's NewsNation, a psyop, Ross. Egg-shaped UFO, now you're talking. Told her I didn't do blow, now she walking. Ross. What the fuck is that UFO buried? Ross. What the fuck are you talking about? Ross. Are you deep state, Ross? It's NewsNation, a psyop, Ross. Egg-shaped UFO, now you're talking. Told her I didn't do blow, now she walking. Ross. What the fuck is that UFO buried? Ross. What the fuck are you talking about? Ross. Are you deep state, Ross? It's NewsNation, a psyop, Ross.
This is my jam, baby boys. This is my jam. That is my jam for the night. Whoa, somebody needs to chill. Y'all need to chill out donations, but thank you very much. GTE, 100 pounds. I'm pretty sure pounds are better than American dollars, but I don't really know. So thank you. So Gary Nolan is CIA. I'm going to read this as sarcastically as possible. Are you ready? So Gary Nolan is CIA. Corbell and his fake rage can apparently go and see Congress members unscheduled. And Coutlhart dropped his egg, which I am not convinced is even from a helicopter. It looks like it's ground level. Sounds like these guys are desperate at this point. It does feel like they've got nothing, right? It feels like they've got nothing. And this is them just throwing whatever they've got to the wall. Ooh, guys, we're going to have these whistleblowers coming out. These whistleblowers are coming out. It's going to be huge, and everybody's going to get involved with it. And it's going to be like blow the lid off this whole thing. And in the end, nothing. Nothing happened. Let me just make sure I didn't miss any donations. Okay, I hit that one. Sigrid, thank you very much. Appreciate you for euros, probably. I think those are euros. Appreciate you. Everybody's money is equal in the Four Orbs community. We have full DEI training. We appreciate all races, even Nordics and reptilians and mantids, all of them equally. Okay. Now, let me pop off on that video. So first of all, obviously it was garbage like I thought from the beginning. It was sensationalist trash from the beginning. The reason why this hurts the UFO community is that now normal people look at this and they go, oh, it's all sensationalist garbage and psychopaths that are having think they're having psionic messages from the stuff they're picking up off the ground. And it's like, if this guy actually was brain damaged, like Gary Nolan was representing, well, then that hurts his credibility too. If the guy's got brain damage, how can you believe what he's saying? It's like they were like hurting themselves in the interview. And then finally we get to the major whammy, but the first whammy hit when it turned out the guy was having psychic messages from the egg. That's when we were like, okay, oh boy. Because at that point, now all the debunkers are just licking their lips. They're sitting there going, okay, we got this guy. We're going to just say he's crazy. He's making up a bunch of bullshit, whatever. The second whammy came when they finally showed the footage. And then all we got was this trashy video here. This. We got this. That's the video. You're looking at the whole video right there. Picking up an egg.
Let's slow this down to take a closer look.
Like, that was it. You just saw the whole video. What is it? Like, how long is this? 10 seconds? With 10-second video. Somebody thinks their life is at danger for leaking this video. This doesn't do anything. This doesn't show anything.
Let's slow this down to take a closer look. That's
show it even better. To show what better? This doesn't show anything. The craft's not even levitating. It's not even floating. Why would anyone even believe this is alien? And this guy has already been corrupted, and he said that people in the UFO, whatever, all these nut jobs in the UFO thing that are connected, the task force, they've been trying to tell him that it's aliens. They're trying to tell him that this video is aliens. They're messing with this guy's head too. It's like, bro, it's a video of an egg you picked up, okay? Or some kind of weird thing. It doesn't mean it's aliens. Like, show me a video of this thing floating around in the sky. And then we can start talking about anti-gravity. And then after we talked about that, then we can start talking about alien origin. There's no aliens inside that egg. This isn't Men in Black. There's not going to be a little guy inside there going, you have to live on my legacy. I was controlling this egg inside this thing. There's not like a little insect guy inside there. So yes, the credibility of these people has been shot. The credibility of these people has been shot because they're pushing videos like this on the public and they're pretending to be the face of UFO disclosure. And you've got Jeremy Corbell out there, of all people. He has access to congressmen. And Jeremy Corbell makes this TMZ video, 3-part TMZ video, 3-part. And in it, it's all about being mad at Nancy Mace for what I talked about earlier. And he's doing interviews with Matt Gaetz, Nancy Mace, and Tim Burchett. 3 different congressmen he's getting interviews with. I would kill for one interview with any congressman. If there's any Congress people out there, can I just get one interview where we talk about technology and not little green men? And I promise I won't make any 3-part series about you like ignoring my letters or whatever as well. For anyone who wants to know, I'm not connected to Forbes magazine. I wish I was. If I was, I would probably be in a lot better shape financially than I am. That would be great. That would be great. Okay. Guys, I'm actually even afraid to go look. Let's read some comments, guys. Let's read some comments. Okay. Let's see what we got here. The hot takes must flow. Who puts a strap on an egg? This is a great way to get UFO believers to become non-believers. What a waste of time. There you go. That's a great comment, chat. That's a great comment. You know what? Yeah, we're going to do the thing where we read comments. Garbage nothing burger with egg and cheese. Sounds about right. How can we troll the best, guys? How can we troll the best? Yeah, honestly, JK Philly fans are the best. A big 0 eggs out of 10. Yeah. Wait. There we go. That's the joke. Please, everybody, go upvote and like my message just so that I can feel very cool. Like we're very, like, you know, we can influence the internet and what have you. Let's see what else we got in here. Yeah, green eggs and scam. Man, good comment. Good comment. Go post that on there. Let's see what else people got. Yeah, it's not going to convert anyone. I don't know how anyone can think it's cool because it's just literally the lamest video ever. Garbage. Aliens aren't real. It's our technology. I like those people. I just like being controversial in this community where, like, people are just get so heated. People get so heated about some of this stuff. And then the funny part is, like, when you get to the truth of it, it's like, oh, it turns out none of us really matter. We're probably living some sort of weird prison lives on this planet, as a prison planet. It's all super dark when you really get down to it. But now this was a good learning experience. You see a lot of people who are like, I'm done. Now, the reason why this is a good learning experience for people, the reason why I went all in on this and really started to hype it up, is I wanted people to get destroyed by this. I wanted them to realize that there's all this sensationalist bullshit and these people are peddling bullshit. And I want you to realize, too, these people are all connected to one another. Like Ross Coutlhart is buddies with Lou Elizondo and Jeremy Corbell and Gary Nolan. All these guys are connected to one another. So when you see one of them, you usually see more of them. And they're all peddling the same bullshit. And for some reason, this has gotten to a point where it's like politics, where these people are like brainwashed. And they all are, like, I think most of them are like far left liberals as well. No disrespect. If you're a liberal, that's fine. You don't have to be like them. But I think they believe their own bullshit. I think they literally believe their own bullshit. That's the only way I can imagine this getting any hype. And Joe Rogan has these people on. That's the thing that's the craziest part. Joe Rogan has these people on and platforms them, like the James Foxes of the world, the Gary Nolans, the Lou Elizondos, these guys, even Michael Schellenberger. These guys don't know shit. These guys don't know shit. They don't know anything about how any of the physics works. Like, all they can do is come tell you secondhand stories from some other guy's story. That's not going to get us anywhere. It's going to ensure we don't get anywhere. The only way we're ever going to get anywhere with this is if we figure out how the science works ourselves and start disseminating that information. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not like hiding my intentions on what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build up a big platform, and I'm going to disseminate how 0-point energy works. And at some point in the future, I'm going to show you guys a device. Whenever I have one that is legit and it's safe to show and I don't have NDAs or anything like that, I'll show you guys a device. I hope it's a microchip. I hope that at some point it's a microchip and I can be like, hey, I plugged my microchip in my phone. My phone doesn't run out of battery ever anymore. That's what I truly hope. We'll see. Okay. Let's see what other comments we got. There's probably some other clips as well. Oh, yeah, there it is. People are 58 comments already, chat. Oh, so the reason why I like this, though, is because not only does it push people away from the alien head people, but it pulls people towards us. When they push away from this, they push towards us and 0 point energy disclosure, where we're showing videos of real engineers. Like, compare this garbage, this trash that we just watched. Compare it to this. I'm just going to show which one. My favorite is probably Puthoff. This is probably my favorite video.
Called empty space isn't really empty at all. It's actually full of energy. So instead of being like kind of a quiet, empty lake, it's more like the froth at the base of a waterfall or something. And this energy is basically electromagnetic in nature. And the energy density is quite high. In fact, it's so high that when it was first discovered mathematically, it was thought to be some kind of artifact of the mathematics. But then as time went on, there were even Nobel Prize winning experiments that showed that this energy in so-called empty space was really there. We don't usually notice it because it's so homogeneously distributed. It'd sort of be like sitting in a bathtub with at exactly your body temperature. You might not notice the water. But under certain circumstances, it can be disturbed or perturbed, and then it has effects. As I mentioned, some effects on atomic emission, for example, is what eventually ended up in a Nobel Prize for Willis Lamb of Yale University, and it's called the Lamb shift. And this is a recognition that, in fact, this energy disturbs atoms, so atoms aren't sitting in a void, they're sitting in the sea of energy. So once quantum theorists realized that energy was there, the next question was, well, is there any way to tap it? And it was thought originally that probably not. It might be like trying to tap the heat energy around us. And you can quickly prove for thermodynamic reasons that it'll take more energy to tap it than you'd get out of it, so you don't come out ahead. But back in about 1984, a researcher at Hughes Laboratory by the name of Robert Forward showed that there was a particular effect called the Casimir effect, which demonstrated that, in fact, this energy could be tapped.
This is like the opera. This is like listening to the opera compared to the garbage that I just listened to on NewsNation. Like, it really feels like they had a checkbox and they were like, oh, let's just say this guy has everything. He's crash retrieval. Let's say that he was special operations. Let's say that he got the Havana syndromes as well. Let's add that. Oh, and let's also make sure that we add a part where he's got the psychic messages from the alien egg as well. Let's make sure we put that in there. Like, bro, come on, man. Compared to this, where I've got a literal black project engineer, confirmed physicist, Stanford, like written quantum mechanics textbooks, literally just explaining 0 point energy. And this was 20 years ago. This video is from 2000. This is from the year 2000. So yes, Hal Puthoff's hair is white now because he's like 90 years old. He's like 90. He was old in this video. And this was 24 years ago. Also, yes, he probably has like 1 million hit points. He's basically like the last boss. The problem is, like, he might be like a vampire or like immortal or something like that, because maybe he figured out this technology and they've been like, you know, reversing aging or something like that. So he could literally have 1 million hit points, like just the final boss. Final boss is a lot of hit points, chat. We got to level up like a lot if we're going to take down the final boss. Also, by the way, today he said in the AMA, he said he would never reveal like national security secrets, not even after he goes to his grave. Let me just repeat that. Hal Puthoff said that even after he goes to his grave, he would not reveal national security secrets. Like, he's not going to write a book that would be revealed when he dies posthumously that would have like secrets in it. The dude is like old school, man. how Putaf's going to go to his grave knowing that we've got some crazy shit going on, that we've got free energy and teleportation technology, just because he doesn't want to hurt the United States national security. Man, I wish they had just paid me that $10 million. Then I wouldn't be in this position where I have to expose my own country, but they didn't do it, so we got to expose it. Okay, let me hit up some more donations real quick. I'm a fan of the interdimensional alien theory, Joanna K says. I feel like that's a little bit disinformation that they're pushing, but at the same time, if you can teleport through a wormhole in a way that's interdimensional, that's where I think the real truth of it's going to be. I mean, what is it? What do you mean interdimensional alien? Like, what does that mean? That's part I don't really understand. Like, when people say that, what do they mean exactly? Like different chemistry? It's coming from somewhere far away, coming from another universe, a parallel universe. I'm not trying to hate on you. I'm just curious. Dave, thank you very much. Have you seen The Fog? I have not seen The Fog stuff. People are trying to connect it to DEWs. Guys, I would warn you to avoid connecting stuff like this just because it's probably not that. And it's probably just random, like homeless people starting fires and kids being idiots starting fires. But yeah, maybe. We do know DEWs are real for sure. We know that. The fog stuff seems like a little over the top. We had crazy fog here in Minnesota, but it was only for like one day. So I don't know. Not sure about that stuff. Kravos, I must have missed the giant spatula in the egg retrieval video. I just don't get. Okay, so about going back to the egg retrieval video, guys, like it's not even flying on its own power in the video. It's not even flying under its own power in the video. I don't even get. It doesn't even show anti-gravity properties, let alone like any reason for us to believe that it's alien. This has got to be one of the biggest rug pulls ever in the UFO community. It's got to be, right? Like, this is a massive rug pull. This is it. This is the whole. It was gonna be some bullshit like this, where it was like they're just like picking up some random object. The object's not floating. Like, I've watched enough football in the last few weeks to know this object's not floating freely in the sky. We can see how close it is to the ground. We can see the shadow right here, where it touches the ground right there. It's not even clear they're picking it up. It looks like they're putting it down.
Let's slow this down to take a closer look.
In what way is this me trying to help out I'm literally trying to help out the UFO community. And I'm trying to help you guys out by saying, like, this doesn't move the needle and this doesn't prove aliens are real. I want to believe aliens are real just as much as you. I already know aliens are real. They're out there somewhere. What I don't know is, are aliens visiting planet Earth? And the only way I'm going to believe that is if we get a video of an alien coming out of an egg or whatever the shit was supposed to happen today. Maybe the egg was going to crack open, then a little alien would birth out. Maybe it has little stubby arms like a T-Rex. I don't know what was supposed to happen, but that's the only way I'm going to believe that aliens are visiting this planet. I'm not going to believe it unless I see some shit like that. Seeing some tiny egg that was like, I don't know, the size of like a little bit bigger than a soccer ball doesn't move the needle for me. Doesn't move the needle for me. I don't know if it moves the needle for you guys. So we're going to probably wrap up pretty soon. So I'm going to look around and see if there's any other videos from the thing tonight. UAP James probably has some other ones. Nope, that was the big one. Okay. What I want to tell you is this. If you're new to my channel, if you're new to my content, then obviously you can tell I'm not aligned with the Ross Coutlharts and the Jeremy Corbells and the Lou Elizondos of the world. I got interested in this topic because I saw the most compelling videos ever of Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 disappearing out of the sky. And that's what you're looking at right here in this video. Saw this, went, what the hell is that? Is that aliens? Is that UFOs? And I realized researching it, it's not aliens in those videos either. Those are drones. Those are some kind of drone that's autonomously controlled. And so my strategy and plan has been to present another option. Because so far, those people that you just saw that produce like that content, they have controlled the entire narrative of this whole UFO topic. And they've ensured that nobody can ever get to the truth. That instead we're stuck in this situation forever where we're constantly questioning what's real, what's not real. We're pretending like humans can't understand alien technology and alien physics. It's all nonsense. So what I'm doing is I'm showing people another way. Okay, let me do the dark ash. I totally forgot I was going to do that. Wait for it. I'm showing people another way, chat. And the other way is that there is, through science, physics, and technology, we can show and prove to people that we have been lied to by all of the institutions, media, government, and academia. And when we get that level of disclosure, not even about aliens, when it turns out that we can produce free energy, when it turns out that we can create cold fusion and that we can produce anti-gravity, when we show that, no one's going to give a shit about aliens. Then people are going to wonder, who's been hiding this? How long have they known about it? And who do we hang first, basically, for hiding this from us? That's what the public's reaction will be. Because basically, we're going to learn we've been working for no reason. We could have AI doing all of our jobs with free energy. And we're basically just slaves on this planet. So I'm showing people another way. Now, yes, there's a huge amount of crossover with the UFO community and the topics, but my primary goal is the physics and the engineering, electrical engineering, physics, and the history. So when you watch my content, that's what you get. And admittedly, a lot of my opinions are based on the video that you just saw right here. This shows that 0-point energy is the answer. And that not only is 0-point energy the answer, it's the answer for all of the things that we're currently wrong about in physics. Dark energy, dark matter, gravity, inertia, mass. All of those things are explained right there. And that's why no one wants to talk about these videos. It's not because they're fake. It's because they're obviously real and they're revealing way too much information. It hurts national security. Those videos hurt national security. They do. But they hurt national security 10 years ago when they leaked. At this point, we're reporting on old news. It's not spoilers anymore if it's been 10 years since the movie came out. So if you're following me, you're going to get a mixture of science, physics, electrical engineering. You're going to get a mixture of history. You're going to get a mixture of UFO and alien conversation. And the reason why I talk about aliens is because, yes, of course, there's aliens out there somewhere. And I want to know what different people's thoughts are on what the nature of the aliens is. Is it us? Is it future humans? Is it underwater sea creatures? Is it from another planet? There's a lot of different options. Are they from under the ground? I don't know. But I like to hear other people's opinions on that. And then lastly, what I'll say is that the secret of the UFO stuff, because everybody always says, like, just spill the tea, guys. If you know the answer, just say the answer. Well, I'm going to tell you the answer. The answer is plasma. Plasma. What is plasma? Plasma is I take a hydrogen atom. Hydrogen atom has one electron. I rip that electron from the hydrogen atom. Now I've got one negatively charged electron over here, and I've got one positively charged ion left behind. That's plasma. That's it. You do this enough, and you create plasma. What is that plasma? A negatively charged thing on this side, positively charged thing on this side. What does that remind you of? A battery or a capacitor. Plasma is the answer. Plasma is the easy way to make a UFO. The hard way to make it is to use metamaterials where you're making stuff on the atomic level, like the tiniest possible scales, putting materials together next to each other at the atomic scales. That's what an advanced civilization would do. One that's not that advanced will just figure out how to make a ball of plasma and then just find ways to interact with it and use those properties. Let me look at my list here. Okay, I think that's it for tonight, guys. So John D'Souza interview tomorrow. I'll try to get that up as soon as possible for you guys. It was a great conversation about plasmas and the deep state and how they hide this technology and how the FBI operates. You guys are definitely going to want to check it out. And then the Avi Loeb interview is probably going to be groundbreaking, literally, because I'm going to talk to a real Harvard astrophysicist about 0-point energy and basically get him on board. That's what's going to happen. So we'll see how it goes. And it's one that I highly respect, actually. I highly respect Avi Loeb. So you guys know I don't do any half measures. When I interview people, it's like, we're going to get to some truth. But at the same time, I respect Avi Loeb a lot, and I don't want to put him in an uncomfortable position. So that interview is probably going to be fire. So that'll probably be next week, guys. But I'll start hyping it up the moment I start getting clips for it. Okay, last thing I want to say, because we have a lot of people that are watching tonight. Thank you very much, MH370X. We've literally created a movement here around these videos of a missing airplane, and we're going to be proven to be correct. And we've been the tip of the spear for a while now. And we've been pushing and influencing major podcasters to talk about stuff like 0-point energy, the source of UFOs, and stuff like cold fusion, where nobody else was talking about it. Nobody else was seriously considering it. And that's just the pressure of being an influencer just from the science perspective. Just from the science perspective. Not talking about aliens, but like just influencing people on science. So I couldn't be more proud of everybody out there who's been pushing people. And if you have joined this journey, regardless of if you joined during Candace or if you've been here since the beginning or whatever, welcome aboard, because this story is not over and it just gets more and more exciting every day. So thank you. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, guys. We will be back on Monday and we'll be going over more science. We'll probably not be talking too much about this drama stuff, probably going back to the deep science, because one of the things I want to talk about is magnetic, what is it called? I think we figured out how the orbs connect. Magnetic locking. Magnetic locking. So on Monday, we're going to look at magnetic locking. I think we figured out how the orbs stick together in a triangle formation and move around like this. If we figured that out, that'll be a huge Yahtzee moment, because as far as I know, nobody out there has figured that out. And no, like there's probably some small videos with like a few thousand views where somebody figured it out, but like nobody in the UFO disclosure community has been talking about that. And that's another one of those things where it's like, this is why you watch me and not these other douchebags. I'm not here telling you stories about stuff. We're literally figuring out how like orbs are locking together. Like we're literally figuring out the physics. So, okay, guys, love you. MH370X. Have a great night. Dark Ashton out. Peace, y'all. Oh, yeah, let's play out. We're gonna play this out with this. Hold on. We're gonna play this out with the other song tonight, guys. So peace out, everybody. Have a good one.
What the fuck is that UFO, Barry? Ross. What the fuck are you talking about? Ross. Are you deep state, Ross? It's NewsNation, a psyop, Ross. Egg-shaped UFO, now you're talking. Told her I didn't do blow, now she walking. Ross. What the fuck is that UFO, Barry? Ross. What the fuck are you talking about? Ross. Are you deep state, Ross? It's NewsNation, a psyop, Ross. Egg-shaped UFO, now you're talking. Told her I didn't do blow, now she walking. Ross. What the fuck is that UFO, Barry? Ross. What the fuck are you talking about? Ross, are you deep state Ross? It's NewsNation, a psyop Ross.
Yeah, I'm going to play the other one too real quick. Then we're going to close it out after that, guys. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
High tech, we got it all down. High stress, tell me how to solve it. How you go put dirt on my name on the same page, but we not the same page. That brain is still missing. You can't produce a thing because you're too busy tripping. Yeah, still fading off from last night, so headed to the party. She talking 0 point energy, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Get me started. Yeah, yeah. It shows 3 spheres circling the plane, god damn it. Then it opened up a wormhole into space, god damn it. Where'd it go? I bet I know who could tell you all about it. Well, shows 3 spheres circling the plane, god damn it. Then it opened up a wormhole into space, god damn it. Where'd it go? I bet I know who could tell you all about it. All about it.